beautiful friends, and happy birthday, our beloved Yogananda. Yogananda, oh my goodness, what an incredible, being of cosmic light and love that got to walk upon this earth. And maybe some of you watched the live beautiful celebration that Self-Realization Fellowship had on this morning. It was very blissful and just beautiful. And I'm going to show a little bit of it as well so that we connect. And I'm going to share, just to honor the great guru, some stories, and we'll do some meditation also. And tomorrow we only have an event at 5 p.m., but tomorrow is our full moon. And so this meditation here today is the one that we will be actually doing tomorrow in the evening. And that is to receive and transmit divine will. Now, I often talk about cosmic Mother Nature because really that's who she is. And today I'll share a little bit the way that Yogananda explained nature to us here on planet Earth. But let us start a little bit with the transmission that Self-Realization Fellowship actually had on today, just to attune to the beautiful energies that were transmitted. If you didn't watch it, they will keep it alive live for a little bit so we can watch it. So let us attune to that beloved guru. And even if it is not your guru, it doesn't matter, because really he worked for all of humanity. So here we are.
After the talk, I will offer a flower in front of his picture as a symbol of our love, devotion, and loyalty to him and his teachings. Guruji has told us that on these special occasions, such as the birth anniversaries of the great ones, the vibrations and blessings of God and the great ones are especially strong because God and his great saints are celebrating this occasion in the astral world. And the vibrations from those celebrations are powerfully emanating to our earth. If we are humbly receptive to those blessings, we will feel the presence of God, our Gurudev and our Param Gurus in an ever greater way. So let us begin this commemoration service by invoking the blessings of God and the great ones with an opening prayer. Please fold your hands in front of your heart. Take your attention within. Close the eyes and gently lift the gaze to the point between the eyebrows and put the whole attention at that point. And with all the love and devotion of our hearts, please pray with me. Heavenly Father, Mother, Friend, beloved God, Jesus Christ, Bhagavan Krishna, Mahavatar Babaji, Lahiri Mahashay, Swami Shri Yukteswar, and our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, saints of all religions, we bow to you all. Beloved God, we are gathered here today to honor and commemorate the birth anniversary of our beloved Gurudev Paramahansa Yogananda Ji. Bless us with the spiritual fervor to faithfully and regularly practice the soul-liberating Kriya Yoga teachings that he brought to this earth until we attain the goal of our life, oneness with you. Bless us with your presence, that we may in a greater way feel your blessings and the blessings of our Gurudev and Param Gurus. Om, peace, Shanti, Amen.
Amen. So this is a beautiful way to start, and I'm going to share this link in the chat because the event was about 90 minutes. And so you can still watch it today. I don't know how long they will keep it on the website. But also this Saturday, on the 7th of January, there will be a very long meditation, and it's going to be a 6-hour meditation. So for those of you who want to participate, you can just go to the same website to upcoming events, and it's going to be here live. So 6 hours of meditation, yay! So that's going to be very exciting. And so today is a very special day for us. Let's just go back to, so I was asking, as I meditate, I ask Divine Mother what it is that we can do. And so today we will be calling upon the great ones to receive that beautiful transmission of divine will. And we will be transmitting that divine will, not only to the world that we live in, but also to your life, to your purpose, to your highest version of your being, of course, because we are all on the same path. And the path is that we are embodying our divine self in the body. So I was mentioning yesterday, I think there's a big misunderstanding in some of the mystics in this world when they deny the body and deny nature. And they pursue a path that is a path of consciousness without nature, because we actually are both. And so is creation. So our cosmic mother nature, she is this ultimately amazingly intelligent expression of creation. Of course, she is creation. And so how can we disconnect from her? And actually what really is amazing is that here on planet Earth, we are connected deeply to the Earth herself, beyond anything that actually anyone can really truly imagine until they get to experience it. We are the Earth in a way when we are here. But at the same time, we also have the divine self. So we are also that consciousness. And so these two elements of who we are need to be nurtured and recognized equally. And so what happens on planet Earth, our body is a reflection of the Earth. And so we are the microcosm of the macrocosm. And by actually studying the incredible portals within us, the spine within us, the nervous system within us, the glands within us, we can have incredible realizations in terms of consciousness. So it would be silly to deny the body. Very often we heard the body is a sinner, but no, it's not the body at all. It was the fragmented part of us that didn't belong here, that is no longer within us, even though in some people it still lives as a memory. But there was a part that actually kind of came in. The way that I saw it was what we call the Garden of Eden. And this fragment of unconsciousness actually entered humanity. And that actually led to all that we know today to be the fall. And so this fragment had to leave. And it had to leave in 2020. And so now we are back to that original design, which is divine being in a beautiful body deva. And the body deva is a divine being too. And so here is the marriage of the two, creating the third element, which is us. So you would say, well, if the unconscious fragment left, then why are some people still in unconsciousness? And that is what Divine Mother explains, that every single one of us got the opportunity to open the cage and to step into freedom. But some people are very habitual. And the habits of the mind, still, if people choose to constantly repeat, it creates these unconscious personalities. And so now we have this amazing opportunity. It left in February 2020, and I witnessed it. Usually all this happens in the middle of the night, and I was so blown away. So now we have so much more freedom. And so the choices are always ours. No one will be forcing us. But what's awakening in us, all of us here, is consciousness and is love. And consciousness is love. And so, as you can imagine, humanity has also been engaging in a lot of collective unconsciousness. So this collective really pain that we create with our thoughts and that we then create with our feelings and actions and words, it all goes, it's one big package. It creates collective unconsciousness. And these unconscious energies always need to be resolved. energy needs to always find her resolution. And so what she needs to do, I call her because to me, life force is really divine mother's light. It is her rainbow light. And so if humanity as a collective was, tapping into unconsciousness again and again and again, they create a mess. And this mess cannot just be left behind. It has to be resolved. And so as mystics, we participate in collective transmutation of these energies. Now, these energies, when they are not being resolved on planet Earth, which also has happened many times, then lead to natural, actually, disasters. So the weather patterns can then reflect human unconsciousness. And, it's just energy trying to resolve herself. She's just trying to find her new equilibrium through chaos. And so it's part of her transmutation then. And so once again, Divine Mother told us a while ago that we have two options: follow nature and be like her, which is be love and all the other things that come along with that, or do not follow her and go on another path, which she actually herself calls the part of artificial intelligence and disconnect from nature. Very interesting. And so then she will have to wake us up through her own forces that she calls water and fire. And so every single day, for example, you and me are in service. When we gather on these calls, I only do it as service to Divine Mother, service to Divine Source, and service to the great ones. And I am so grateful that you feel drawn to this service. That's, for example, the reason why I would never charge for these calls anything, because then that's not service to me. Then it's like, oh, we have a little attachment. I need to keep you here so that you keep paying me. So no, I don't want to do that. But I want everyone to have the opportunity to be part of this, incredible service. So we are, every single one of us, in service. So I've had a lot of experiences of many different past lives. And I always say, sometimes we remember stuff that was really us. Sometimes we remember maybe even stuff that is simply part of our DNA. And so I honestly cannot tell you the difference because it seems so real, So I remember being a mermaid living in a river. So you don't call them mermaids, you call them something else, Udines, right? And so I remember those things, but does it mean that it was really me? I really don't know. I just have an incredible memory of it. And all of these memories have served us here actually to be part of the service. And sometimes when I have forgotten something that was important, my guides would come and they would remind me, thank you, Undines, that's how it's pronounced, thank you. And so many of us have had many incredible memories and experiences in so many different lifetimes, but I do believe that we are only given in this lifetime that which is important to remember so that it serves us. So it's not entertainment, sometimes people have their lifetime, their past lives read, and to me that's entertaining. But if you don't remember it, people can tell you whatever they want. So I'm not a big fan of it, but I am a big fan of actually remembering when it is useful, when your guides come and say, you need to remember this. This is so important. And so in 2018, I started to receive incredible activations of past life memories. And it really happened in Encinitas, where Yogananda had his hermitage, which is really incredible. And my husband and I, we just went, to hang out. It was my birthday in August. And so we just thought we'll spend it in Encinitas, go and do some meditations and have some fun. And so in the middle of the night, it was the most unbelievable breakthrough of my memories. And we stayed in an Airbnb that was like full of crystals. So this guy who owned it, he just filled this house with unbelievable amount of crystals. So I always think, maybe it was the crystals, maybe not, who knows. And so in that night, I remembered everything about the fall of Atlantis, like every little bit of the last day of it. It was unbelievable. It was like I could describe Ethiopia the next morning as if I absolutely, knew every little bit of Ethiopia. I've never been to Ethiopia. So like the day before this happened, I knew nothing about Ethiopia, but I woke up knowing everything about all the landscapes, all the rocks, all the, caves and the civilization and everything. So I was Googling pictures and everything was 100% the way that I remembered it, which is incredible. And so the most important thing was that Atlantis really did have to be destroyed. And it was the creator who made the decision to destroy Atlantis. So to me, this was not like just suddenly, tsunamis and waves. It was truly the creator who made the decision. Now, to me, this was really unbelievably interesting why Atlantis had to be destroyed. So people come up with many different reasons, but the way that I was remembering all of it was the misuse of life force and the misunderstanding of the human body and something so simple, lust. And we have all the stories where the beings came from, heavenly realms, and they started to, mate with women on planet Earth. And that led also to the fall. And to me, this was it. I was seeing it, divine beings getting confused by the human body, lusting after human bodies, and, forgetting the divine purpose and forgetting what really, the energy of lust is really distorted energy of understanding. I don't know if I'm explaining properly, but actually, if you are in the purity of your flow with this cosmic energy, it does feel incredibly pleasurable. You feel ecstatic. It even could be described as orgasmic, blissful. I don't know all the words for it, but it does feel like it. But it is, when you understand it, you know that you are feeling cosmic energy and you don't just focus, on body parts. And so that was like a big misunderstanding at the end of Atlantis. So in that moment, we were taken out of body, and I always share the memory just sitting and waiting for the tsunami to kind of take us out of body, but everybody was just very still. Nobody was running away. We were just kind of like meditating, and we knew it's going to be like a split second going out of body, bam. And so when it happened, immediately I saw what happened after. So we were in higher realms and really running in, our new etheric body to the throne. This is how I remember it, to the creator, and just being so unbelievably apologetic and euphoria. Thank you. And so I knew the gravity of just what happened. It was unbearable to think that we failed and that the earth cannot now, in a way, continue really evolution, and that it had to be thrown back in a way to a state of suffering, unconsciousness. And so I couldn't quite comprehend the gravity of the pain. What is the pain that I'm feeling? And so it was really just saying, please send us back so that we can make sure that Mother Earth will never suffer again. And so I know that this lifetime for you and me is that lifetime. That is the promise we made. That is why we requested to come back here for this lifetime and say, now that the opportunity is here for the earth to actually go back to evolution, then let us be here and make sure that we don't engage as much as possible with unconsciousness, that we wake up from really the dirt of unconsciousness, because that's what it is. It really is like dirty energy. So, like I always mention Taoism, when you think about chi and prana, cosmic energy, then when a human being uses that cosmic energy, they can also make it dirty with their own dirty minds and feelings and all this stuff. So we made that promise to remember in this lifetime this very big purpose, and that the purpose is about the entire body of the planet. Mother Earth, really, you can call her many different things, but she has a soul, and that soul is so big that she's able to create such a big being like a planet. And that soul, just like your soul, needs to be evolving. And so Patricia Robles speaks about it too, saying, the spiral of evolution, and we need to return to the spiral of evolution. And so we need to also be returning with her to that evolution, instead of being stuck in that really unbelievable trap of recycling our souls through reincarnation. So all of this actually is incredibly succeeding. And once again, the collective unconsciousness is still here, but it is up to us to remember this huge purpose that we have. That's a huge purpose. No longer is it about just you and me living our little lives and working through our karma that we made. Now it is actually about saying, you know what? And this is the big deal, kind of almost like the I that I am doesn't really matter that much. So let me quickly step into the true divine self that I am. Give away, in a way, the personality attachment, and then say, I am a divine being in a human body, and I represent something in this world. So what is it that we represent? We do represent Divine Mother, Divine Father in this world. We cannot become one with this world, you know, where unconsciousness rules still. And so that means being impeccable with yourself. Truly, it's not difficult to be impeccable with yourself, especially when you get rid of the mental body, you know, dirt and the emotional body. So once we transmute our own, you can call it patterns that are dysfunctional within us, whether they small or big, then we can step into big service and we can offer our own impeccable mental and emotional body, our etheric body that we have cleansed, to this world. And we don't have to do it like, you know, here you are walking around. Simply by being here, you create an amazing new opportunity for human collective consciousness. Need to take a little sip of water here. And so when we forget the small self and we really truly say, you know what, none of the small self stuff really matters. So I mentioned how Yogananda once, you know, explained to me, I got into this argument with someone that I was in a relationship with. You know, it happens. And it's a long time ago, luckily. But Yogananda was very upset about it. And he told me, you just showed me basically your own unconsciousness. The fact that you would go down with someone else's unconsciousness and become really lower yourself to that level of arguing, it's like the person already is in the mud and now you are in the mud with them too. So please remember to love the divine first and not your little self. And so it's good. You know, I'm really glad that I actually had that experience, because now I can say never, ever, ever will the little self be more important than the divine self. I'd rather be quiet than say anything that is not of divine nature. And I mentioned Yogananda had a wonderful chant. He said, if your thoughts take you places, simply chant God, 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 Divine Mother, Divine Mother, Divine Mother, whatever it is, love, love, love. Just to remind ourselves that we have responsibility. And it's not something scary. It just simply is like our love expressed. So when we express our love, we actually then are fulfilling our very simple purpose, and we show understanding. So like me getting into an argument was just showing my own unconsciousness and lack of understanding. But then, you know, learning from it and making sure that every situation is approached through divine love. And I always say, people ask me, you know, what about boundaries? Yes, please have boundaries. You know, nobody's a doormat here, or should not be. And so today, I was told that definitely we should be, I actually want to mention one more thing. So we will be working with divine will. We will be absorbing divine will, and the divine will is being emanated to us from the great ones today on a special, special day. This is going to be more intense than ever. Like I'm on fire here. It's like so hot, just feeling the energy of the spirit that's going to come through us. And then again, we'll be transmitting, which is part of our service. So I often mention another great teacher that I had. I never got to meet him physically, but I met him non-physically. And that was the Magus of Stravolos, which is a little place in Cyprus. And when I was about 13, 14, I don't know, I was reading this book about this Magus of Stravolos, so magician of Stravolos. He was called Daskalos, the teacher. And I had this huge, huge desire to meet him one day. And so by the time I got to Cyprus, he was already not in the physical body, but he actually appeared to me in his non-physical body, which was pretty incredible. But this Daskalos, if you haven't read his book, or if you've read his book, then you know he was a mystical really Christian teacher, but he also remembered all his past lives, and he wrote in his journal in Egyptian, for example, because he just remembered, his past life in Egypt. And so he was performing miracles all the time. He never ever charged for any of his miracles, and he actually just had an office job working for the government, for a local government. But in his free time, there were people lined up in front of his house. He lived in a small apartment, and he was just performing miracles upon miracles. And Dr. Gilbert on Gaia TV, for example, from the Vesica Institute, he also teaches, all the teachings of Daskalos. And so Daskalos, what he did, he practiced out-of-body travel. And he called it exosomatis, I think. And so in his out-of-body travel, when he performed it himself, he would go into the collective energy of humanity, and he would dissolve it when he could. And in the book, he describes, for example, when humanity was creating so much nasty energy that the next logical thing that the energy would do would be war, then he would go into the energy that was being created, and he would actually dissolve it so that we had peace on earth. So imagine what is possible for us when we truly step into our divine self. The title of the book is Magus of Stravolos. Anyone, if you can put it in the chat, that'd be great. So we've had wonderful, wonderful, amazing, powerful souls in this world, and you are those souls. So, think highly of yourself. And to me, this is not about spiritual ego at all. Actually, the ego dissolves when you know who you are. When you truly, truly, truly are in your divine confidence, you have no ego, because there is no room for it. When you truly, truly know and understand who you are incredibly confident in yourself, 100% knowing who you are. And yet there is no spiritual ego. Isn't that amazing? What a really, it's mind twister when you realize who you truly are. And so then you are always connected to divine source, always connected to divine mother, and always in service, but at the same time, super, super confident in all your abilities and skills. And I always describe it as a complete state of self-love without actually loving the self. And so all of this is possible for us, and that's why we are here. Yeah. It's all really interesting. And to me, it's just words what I'm saying here, but actually it's always experience through all the work that we have done. And so this is what awakens in us, and we are always transformed. To me, even when you think you already have been fully, fully, fully transformed, there's always room for then expansion, like it never ends. And then what's next? And are you going to be the one who helps collective humanity, for example, on this big level, to transmute all these energies? So the next thing, of course, is that as the one who is the shining one in this world, you could have different functions. So I've seen different functions that we have. Some people are truly transmuters. So they come here, they are in a body, and what's happening through them, they are constantly, deeply, maybe they don't even know it, I don't know, but this energy is constantly running through them, and they are transmuting collective energies. And then other people are really the ones who come to emanate. And so we have different purposes in this world, but that's one of the things. And so once again, today, I actually, talked too long, but let us go into this beautiful meditation with Oren. I just want to show which one we will be doing. So maybe if you participated in our last lunar cycle, then we were working with the divine well, which is so amazing. And thank you. And so we will be today. And again, I always ask, I don't want to do anything if it's not going to be exactly what's needed to do. But today it is really receiving all the divine will from the 7 holy Kumaras, from the 7 rishis, from the great ones also, which was part of the opening prayer for Yogananda today. And so we will then transmit this divine will. I feel it very, very strongly. Do you guys feel it too? It's just running through us so strongly. So, whew. Yes. Let me quickly find which track it is. So I know Mercury is retrograde. It's very tangible right now. All right, so I will tell you which track it is. So transmitting divine will, it's track number 12. And so here it is, 27 minutes. And again, you know, as magician, we are learning to remember all the magical things. Our will is very, very important. Our will. And so we will something into being. We use will to be the magic wand. And so let us will this into being, that we are receiving and transmitting divine will. So this was very, very, very powerful. And I always say, for those of you who see, then you saw that we were really visited by the 7 great rishis, the 7 holy Kumaras. And one of them was baby Krishna. So here it is what it is that we are downloading into our being. I just will say a few words what Yogananda also taught, and that is that the more spiritual we become, the more we actually attune to nature as she is, and the earth, and the stars, and the oceans, and that everything within nature has a vibration. And these vibrations are being emanated, just like they are emanated through these 7 stars here. And the earth also has an emanation. The only thing is that if we all were living purely attuned, we would be receiving these pure vibrations, very healing vibrations. But because humans have a lot of unconsciousness as a collective, they are actually unable to almost feel these really subtle vibrations, healing vibrations. And so it is up to us mystics to be so responsible, not only with our own lives, but to assist everyone around us, even though it doesn't have to be directly, right? Because we can do all the work by not even meeting another person, but simply emanating it, this consciousness, this level of understanding. And we can do it when we sit on the earth, when we touch the earth, to spend so much time in nature that you are able, you know, also at night, I do my morning meditation in nature and I do my evening meditation in nature when it's dark and I can see the stars. And so it doesn't matter what weather it is, you know, bundle up and go. And it is really important because Divine Mother taught us that one of the most important practices, if not the most important practice that she actually taught us, was to go and connect with her every single day through our feet, so that she can emanate her healing vibrations into our feet. And so breathing, my friends, we are awakening to that breath. And so once again, if you want to, you know, practice some breaths, I know that the breath of fire is maybe not for everyone, but I recommend really getting good at the breath of fire if you can, and then the ocean breath if you can, of course. And then just to become so natural that your breath becomes natural. And the natural breath actually is what we call the quantum pause. It is that breath where we inhale just so slowly, then when we come to the end of the inhale, there is a pause, but it is a natural pause. And I know that we all can practice this. And so these simple breaths can really help us to attune ourselves. The design of the human body actually is really divine, and that is to be a receiver of cosmic and planetary natural energies. And that's why when I see the future of humanity, we have also a future, and I hope it gets deleted soon as a timeline, where humanity does not choose nature. And so, you know, technology can be great if we use it a little bit for good things, but it also can be very, let's call it misleading, in a way that it leads the human body to be actually completely disconnected from nature. And so, and so we choose nature, we choose her every single day. Very beautiful. I love it. Yes, laughter, but also even crying is like when you cry a lot, it also is like the breath of fire. So I think, Mother Nature made us a certain way so that the breath of fire is just something we do when we laugh, which is always preferable. And then also when we cry, but so it is. And so this closes really our lunar cycle for the 11 a.m. Pacific group, which tomorrow I cannot do, unfortunately. But today at 5 p.m., what we will do will be different. Today we will be working just with Yogananda and with the great ones. And tomorrow at 5 p.m., we will be repeating the one we did today, which is divine will and transmission. So thank you so much. Many blessings to everyone and happy full moon